It's not as straightforward as the headline suggests, so hold on before passing judgment on this tale. The internet went from being quiet to going crazy in a matter of seconds when people discovered provocative photographs associated with Olivia Wilde. A few admirers expressed their disbelief. Some complimented her self-assurance. Others immediately turned it into rumor. The real question, though, is why people always respond so violently to images like this. Stay in to the very end, as I will reveal the true root of this ongoing issue, which goes beyond a single celebrity. So let's take a moment to discuss Olivia Wilde. She is well known for both her acting career and her serious approach to directing. She has been in the spotlight for a long time, and like many celebrities, she is constantly surrounded by cameras, remarks, and viewpoints. That is simply the nature of celebrity. However, people's reactions can quickly become heated when images that are more daring than they anticipate appear. In actuality, the majority of the loud reactions are not caused by the pictures. They stem from the ways in which women, bodies, and control have been taught to individuals. People frequently act as though they have just two options when they see topless photos. They either applaud or they feel ashamed. However, real life is more complicated than that. A bold picture may occasionally be included in a professional photo session. Sometimes it's for a part in a movie. It is sometimes intended to be artistic. Fashion and self-expression are important at times. Sometimes it's just a person being at ease in their own skin. The issue is that the internet typically doesn't pause long enough to inquire, what is the context? Instead, individuals make snap judgments, which leads to injustice and chaos. The speed at which people forget the most crucial rule, respect, is another major problem. When a picture is included in a public, professional endeavor, it can be discussed in terms of confidence, style, or art. However, sharing private information without authorization is not entertaining. That is against the law. Additionally, there is still a distinction between a polite and typical response, even in cases where images are made public. A person's body shouldn't be used as a comment section toy. Olivia Wilde should be treated like a person, not a storyline, just like everyone else. Let's now discuss the term shocked. Many people claim to have been shocked, but what does that actually mean? Sometimes it's because they only see her in one kind of role or image that they didn't anticipate from her. Sometimes it indicates that they are taken aback because they still think women should tone it down in order to be respected. Additionally, it may indicate that individuals are just not accustomed to confidence that doesn't seek approval. The final section is crucial. People who are accustomed to passing judgment on others in order to feel in control may become agitated when someone appears composed and confident. This is the point at which the double standard manifests. People frequently shrug, chuckle, or move on when males participate in risky photo shoots or display skin in films. However, when a woman takes a risk, it sparks a heated discussion about morality, attention, and what it means. Why? Because women's bodies are still discussed in public. That's not natural, and it's unfair. People are simply accustomed to it, thus it is usual. It's fascinating to me that Olivia's personality is rarely the subject of the loudest remarks. They typically focus on what she stands for in the eyes of the public. She is perceived by others as too confident. She is viewed by some as too modern. She is perceived by some as breaking the rules. However, women were never intended to feel liberated by the rules. The regulations were designed to confine women. Therefore, it becomes a huge thing when someone ventures outside that cage, even for a brief period of time. However, let's maintain objectivity and reality. That's not my style, or I prefer a different look, are acceptable statements. Everybody has different tastes. However, insulting, humiliating, or speaking in a way that diminishes someone's dignity is unacceptable. Being harsh is not the same as having an opinion. Additionally, because it is so simple to type anything behind a screen, the internet frequently overlooks this distinction. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more tales like this given in a straightforward, courteous manner. Do you believe that online discrimination against women is excessive, or are things gradually improving? I would like to know what you think.